Personal data protection is one of the hottest areas in the information technology network world: mobile computing, collaboration, and e-commerce. Personal data means data relating to a living individual who is or can be identified either from the data or from the data in conjunction with other information that is in or is likely to come into the possession of the data controller. The purpose of this report is to demonstrate the ability to research and to understand the dynamics of personal data protection technologies. Once researched, our group will have an established knowledge of personal data protection technologies and will use this knowledge to elaborate more in depth on the issues. Having an overall knowledge of not only the issues but also the solutions of personal data technologies, the group will then share the newfound knowledge with the rest of this class.
Here's a background on the issue containing identity theft. Identity theft has remained the dominant consumer fraud complaint to the Federal Trade Commission. Nevertheless, while the number of overall identity theft complaints generally increased between when the FTC recorded identity theft complaints in 2000 and 2008, the number of complaints decreased in both 2000 and 2009 before raising again in 2011 and 2012. Identity theft case filings and conventions peaked in 2007 and 2008 and have generally decreased since. The Identity Theft Resource Center is one of the organizations that track data breaches across the nation, and the resulting statistics indicate that the total number of reported data breaches generally increased between 2005 and 2008 and then fluctuated through 2013.
New world, it gets worse and more people are beginning to buy new technology to protect their personal information. A threat is an object, person, or other entity that presents an ongoing danger to an asset. One threat to be aware of is a virus. A virus is a program and takes control of that program's access to the computer that is the target. Another threat to personal information is a worm. A worm is a malicious program that replicates itself constantly, without requiring another program environment. Worms can be initiated with or without the user downloading or executing the file, a program, online service, or the computer system. A backdoor is very hard to detect and even harder to get rid of. This is a huge security risk. Personal information and passwords can easily be viewed by the attacker. Trojan horse, which is another threat, is a software program that hides their true nature and reveals their design behavior only when activated. A Trojan horse searches your hard drive for any personal or financial information. Shoulder surfing is a threat to your personal information because someone standing behind can simply look over your shoulder and see your personal information that you are typing. Another threat is called trespass. This occurs when an unauthorized person gains access to something they are not authorized to enter.
Examples of how Trusted ID has used identity protection software to help people. The first is they ensure no one is using your health insurance information to get services. A second is credit card protection. With daily monitoring of your credit card reports with all three major credit bureaus and alerts when there are charges, as well as instant online access to your three bureau credit reports and scores. They also give you a tool you need to track and protect your credit. These reports are provided in addition to free credit reports provided by federal law. You have the right to a free credit report from annualcreditreport.com, an only authorized source under federal law. A third is financial identity protection. They actively monitor public databases and internet black market sites for key information including your social security number and credit cards. They give you the option to place fraud alerts on your credit card reports if your identity is at risk, and help you cancel and replace the contents of your wallet if lost and more.
We're going to talk about attacks. An attack is an act that takes advantage of a vulnerability to compromise a controlled system. An attack that people face is social engineering. Social engineering is where someone uses social skills to convince people to reveal access credentials or other valuable information to the attacker. Phishing is another attack to personal information. Phishing is an attempt to gain personal or financial information from an individual by pretending to be a legitimate entity. Pharming attacks are also common. Pharming is the redirection of legitimate web traffic to an illegitimate site for the purpose of obtaining private information. Pharming can use attacks such as a Trojan horse or worm. Spoofing is an attack that is used to gain unauthorized access to computers, wherein the intruder sends messages with a source IP address that has been forged to indicate that the messages are coming from a trusted host. Usually you get an email that looks exactly like the real company, but it is in fact a fake company, and you click and log in, giving them access to your information. Spam is an unsolicited commercial email. Spam's purpose can be to sell something, steal your personal information, or to spread viruses.
In conclusion, I will give advantages of data protection software that they provide. 1. Ultimately, all theft protection will do a good job of helping keep your personal information safe. You'll probably be aware that identity theft is on the rise. With so many people shopping and banking online, sharing personal information on blogs and social media sites, it's easier than ever for thieves to steal your identity and rack up thousands of charges in your name. Point number 2. Another major benefit of investing in identity theft protection is that you have a company whose sole job is to stop potential identity theft before it happens, which means that you have relieved stress. Identity theft protection companies monitor things such as credit cards, online purchases, when and where a particular email address is used, and then compare them to the records you have provided them. Thus, this builds a profile to show you your spending pattern. Should those patterns deviate too much, the customer will be notified immediately. And point number 3. The last primary benefit of identity theft protection is fraud insurance. Most companies will cover legal services, out-of-pocket costs, and sometimes even private investigators to help with your claim. The amount of insurance will depend on the company you choose and the level of protection you buy.